Ooh, also, I listened to the what is the one I listened to last night? It was our pod on something.
Nice. We are so
It-
good.
the first one. Oh, the C flat flaps. I listened to that one. So you can
Ah,
post that one too. I don't know if
okay.
I told you that already,
No,
but
that's fine. I can do that.
okay.
Wait, what was the one before? Wait,
So the
what?
Electoral College is good, the 50th episode, and then it's C flat flaps. All three of those are good.
Okay. Did we already do the electoral? We already did the electoral college. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. Jeez. Hashtag experts.
truly.
Do you even know what we do? No.
I don't, it's hard because after the episode is done, it just like escapes my brain. I don't know.
Facts. That's why when we were doing the 50th episode one, I was like, I have to write everything down because if you asked me right now what it was
No
about,
idea.
especially because even though our titles are usually related, they're often very obscure also,
Mm-hmm.
which does not help.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Blair.
And I'm Kirsten, and we are mediocre
Content.
content. And I just want everyone to know that the reason that the title, you're just talking about titles off of this recording, the reason the title is the way that it is of this episode specifically is because of that one TikTok video where the girl is standing outside the building, clearly intoxicated, and goes, I didn't know it was tequila.
And like gags during it. It's so funny.
Oh, it's perfect. But anyway.
If you're on TikTok, that video was probably popular 6 months ago, I would
Oh,
say.
that hurts.
I'm sorry. Not to be rude. I'm just trying to give people a timeline because everything I feel like those videos are very recent to me. But
Yes.
like honestly, it probably was a while ago. And
Yeah.
if you're on Reels, that video was popular 3 months ago.
Talking to you, Chris. He'll never let me live it down. He texts me that all the time. He's just like, just sent you a Facebook Messenger, but you've probably already seen it.
Yeah, the Facebook mess. If you're on Facebook Messenger,
That was a year ago.
no, it was probably 2 months ago. Very
Probably.
recent. It migrates
Yeah,
slowly.
it does. It's great. I also think about the comedian. I don't remember what his name was, but he was talking about how drunk girls don't care at all. I
Yes.
think it was maybe Joe Coy, but he was talking about it doesn't even matter or something like that. And I love that so much because it's
Mm-hmm.
very accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
No, but I immediately got the title, and that's what matters.
If you know, you know. Is that
If
what they
you know,
say?
you know. Yeah.
But we do not support alcoholism. So maybe this is a good time for the disclaimer.
Oh my God. Okay. So, first of all, this episode isn't even about alcohol. We did
Right.
an episode on alcohol.
We did.
Um, this episode is about hangover food, which in my opinion is like way more important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the disclaimer is that we are not experts on anything. Um, if you've come to this podcast to get any kind of advice or any kind of medical, advice, we're not the place to get that information.
No.
So, we are the place to learn about things that you may not have already known about. We're going to talk about hangover foods that are popular throughout the world. So I feel like that's going to be a really fun little adventure for us.
I mean, it'll be good so that if you're not in the States, you know
Yeah.
what to get, I guess.
Yeah. And you'll see there's some running themes. I think a lot of people like similar foods. Um, and some people are just crazy. So we'll get there. Um, Kirsten's going to do the good news for us today. And I
am.
apologize if I sound like I can't get my thoughts together. It is early on
It's
the
so
West
early.
Coast. And we are doing this because Kirsten has meetings today and I respect that. So
She's a working woman.
she is. She is.
So the
Yeah,
good
go ahead.
news is actually some of it is in California, which
Whoop, whoop.
yeah, I feel like sometimes we don't get a lot of good news from California. I feel like a lot of the news we get from California is like, oh my God, there's like 45 wildfires. And so this is like significantly better than that. So California is working to sign what is going to be called the Delete Act. And this is related to personal privacy, essentially on the web, which I think comes into question a lot, obviously, especially this day and age where literally every device can listen to you and take in information. The bill signed by State Governor Gavin Newsom last week, at the time of this article's writing, means residents will be able to request that their personal information be deleted by all data brokers within the entirety of the state, which is massive. Outside of just privacy, technologically, that's a very big feat. So I just wanted to put that out there. It's technologically more astounding than the bill itself, I think. A data broker is, of course, a company that will collect your online personal data, and then they will in turn sell it to third parties that will then advertise to you. So, for example, you're scrolling and you see an ad or on Facebook or something, if you still use that, and you'll get those, Amazon ads or clothing store ads. Temu's really in the weeds, but they're also one that's very popular. So they'll sell it to those third parties and they get to you that way. So Californians already have the right to get their data deleted in general. However, the approach is that they have to go to each individual broker who may have it and ask them to delete it, which is kind of time consuming and obviously not very thorough. The Delete Act would then oblige brokers to register with what's called the California Privacy Protection Agency, or CPPA, and that will establish an easy and free, being the operative word, way for Californians to request all brokers delete their data through a single page. The Electronic Frontier Foundation, a digital rights group, described the law as a significant win for people, and unsurprisingly, advertisers oppose the law, which is due to come into effect January 2026. So again, I think this is great. Like, if you don't want your stuff out there, totally understand. But again, just from technology, like, you have one place that you can tell all brokers to be like, shut that shit down. And that's great,
I think that's how it should be, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that like it would be really good because like as an individual, you don't have a whole lot of power when it comes to these big tech companies. So it would be a cool model to test out, especially in California because it's so big. Like there's so many people that live here. A government agency that would like act on behalf of individuals, which would be cool. I mean, it's going to be a lot of work, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of like bugs and stuff, but like, it would be a fun. It's a fun idea.
Also, hence the 2-year lead time, right? So like it's 2026, but also, and I say 2-year because we're basically 2024 right now, so don't come for me. I know how to maths for the most part, but also I'm thinking.
She's rushing us, you guys. It is 2023. And in my mind, it's like 2020. So
hey, that's just fair.
Everybody calm down.
That's okay. A 6-year lead time.
Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to denote here, just reading this, it seems like, and I don't know California law when it comes to brokers and third-party agreements and things like that. However, I think potentially this is something that they may already be thinking about, but what about brokers selling to third parties outside of the state or deals that had already been done? Because this only blocks those within the state's confines. So just wanted to put that out there as well. I don't know if they're addressing this at all, but it doesn't mean that you'll never receive it. It just means you can turn it off in California if you're a Californian.
Seems cool. We like.
So the other good news, I have 3 this time because they were all a little bit short.
Wow. Overachiever. Gold
star. No, just lazy. I didn't want to read a whole article. The thing is, this next one is actually over in the UK. So up to 184,000 tons of plastic pellets enter European ecosystems annually due to mishandling through supply chains. And this is according to the European Commission, which this week is pledging to crack down on those microplastics. Under the Commission's proposal, all operators handling pellets will be obliged to take precautionary measures to reduce leakage, a move the Commission says could reduce pellet release by up to 74%, which is astronomical scientifically. Usually we only see small percentages, and that's still a win, but 74% is very high. The proposals are the first EU interventions designed to tackle microplastic pollution at source, and they will now be discussed by European Parliament and European Council. So, got to clean up the water, man. Clean up the water, the ecosystems, get the plastic out of there. And then finally, kind of staying over in Europe, Wales is now leading the way in animal welfare. Specifically, animals in Wales will be spared painful deaths in snares and glue traps after the government has now outlawed the devices as of Tuesday when this article was written. Wales is the first nation in the UK to introduce such a ban, and Rural Affairs Minister Leslie Griffiths said that the use of snares and glue traps was so incompatible with what we want to achieve. Billy J. Thomas, who is the Senior Public Affairs Manager at RSPCA Cymru, said, "Too often, our officers have dealt with animals in severe pain and misery at the hands of these devices, which are cruel, indiscriminate, and totally unnecessary. We're very much welcome the ban," end quote. So
yeah,
it's good. I mean, I understand there's definitely, even in the States, there's people that do hunt for their food. So I understand that. But the traps that are laid out aren't typically used to ensnare an animal to then use for meat or anything like that. They're typically to keep them off the land or, unfortunately, unalive them. Just maybe they think they're pests or etc. So this is a huge win for animals. And hopefully they see good stuff out of it.
I agree. Yeah.
And that's all the good news I have.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Kirsten.
My pleasure.
Okay, so we are going to talk about hangover foods. Many people claim that certain foods and drinks can cure a hangover. While there's no actual cure for a hangover, quote unquote, research indicates that certain foods may help to alleviate hangover symptoms. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the science. And then in the second half, we'll talk about the different types of hangover food that people enjoy.
Nice.
So, if you don't know, a hangover is a group of symptoms that commonly occur after excessive alcohol consumption. Some of those symptoms are things like headache, tiredness, irritability, nausea, excessive thirst. And the severity depends on how much alcohol you consume.
/ your tolerance level, of course.
One would say those are directly related.
Maybe.
So some of the foods that you should eat, one of them would be eggs.
Nice.
Because eggs are a good source of nutrients and contain simple proteins that are particularly gentle on the stomach.
Really?
Yes. It may be especially important the morning of a hangover when a person may experience nausea and digestive upset. Mm-hmm. People should avoid eating eggs with oily foods such as butter, oil, greasy meats. Oils may further upset a sensitive stomach.
I know they're talking about bacon.
I know they're talking about bacon. I feel like all American breakfast food includes butter, oil, and greasy meats. Like, not to be gross, but it definitely does.
I've heard, well, there's always mixed reviews on foods, right? There's some people that say, "Oh, eggs are inflammatory," and I'm always like, "Yeah, if you're allergic."
Right.
Don't
so
eat
if you're
eggs.
allergic to
Don't
eggs, that's true. But I feel like eggs are generally like a really good food to have in your daily diet anyway. I eat a lot of eggs.
Ugh, yeah. Boiled eggs are so good.
Yeah. Boiled eggs.
Whatever, man. I can't help it. Okay.
I know you can't.
It just gets in my mouth sometimes. I say oil too.
Oh.
It makes me think of my grandpa though, because my favorite thing is when he says washer. You gotta put it in the washer. Wash your hand. Oh, I love it. Just want to hear that man talk.
It's the best. Oh my gosh.
Sorry to derail.
No, I'm gonna derail further. Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready.
So last night we watched the Killers of the Flower Moon.
What's
and
that?
It is the new Martin Scorsese movie about, it's got Leonardo DiCaprio in it, which is important, but not that important. And it's about the Osage Indian Native American tribe.
Oh, okay.
And they at one time were like the richest people in Oklahoma because they struck oil.
Ah.
But then, of course, white people got involved and it just became a
It's
whole
to me, I'm
thing.
Mario.
Right. So it's a really good movie. It is,
Good.
I will say, brace yourself because it is 3.5 hours long.
Holy crap.
But to bring this around to relate to what Kirsten was saying,
I'm so ready for the actual segue.
when the movie first started, their southern accents were so thick that
Nice.
for the first like 15 minutes of the movie, I was like, what is going on? I have no idea what's happening. Not to mention the Native Americans had their own language, which they
Right.
provided subtitles for, which is
Thank
fine.
God.
But like I was having trouble understanding like the southern accents in that movie. Anyway,
it just is what it is. It's worse when I'm angry, which I
yeah,
think is, because you just don't, you're not controlling anything that you're saying.
right.
It's just coming out like lightning fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is like I think I've lived in California for too long. I haven't been around people with like southern accents for a while.
True.
Um,
Bold.
yeah, I don't know.
We miss you. Come back.
Uh-huh. Not that like my family has like a really
They do
strong.
not. No.
When I talk to my brother though, sometimes I hear it and I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah, no, it's fair. I like listening to Chris too. It's because he's still back in
Right.
Virginia.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
okay, so second food that's good for you to eat with the hangover are bananas because they contain potassium.
Mm.
And they will help replenish the body's potassium levels after a night of heavy drinking. Bananas also contain fiber and sugar. Fiber promotes digestion and can alleviate digestive symptoms. Um, Sugar provides the energy a person needs to start the day. So like that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Good, good, good. I do love a good banana.
Avocados. Say that again.
I was saying I do love a good banana.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. It's a neutral food. Everybody likes bananas. Well, I shouldn't say that because some people don't.
Some people
But
not.
I feel like it's a very divisive food. Anyway, I told you guys it is early. My brain is not doing the things. So avocados is next on our list. Another excellent source of potassium and calories. It is a good source of fat, which also helps, absorb some of that alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Oats. Many people consider oats to be the perfect hangover food, and this is because oats contain many of the nutrients that alcohol depletes from the body. So the USDA National Nutrient Database trusted source notes oats contain nutrients and minerals such as calcium, magnesium, iron, vitamin B, and oats contain helpful anti-inflammatory fibers called beta glucans. Foods that help anti-inflammatory properties could help to reduce the inflammation associated with a hangover.
Nice. I don't know. Oats are okay. We eat the overnight oats sometimes. Like we'll make overnight oats, but they're just too sweet. I don't know.
I like making my own. So I buy like the big 20-pound bag of rolled oats from Costco. And then I use vanilla almond milk and I just make it with that. It's very good. And I like to put like berries on top.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. That's what I like.
Nice.
So dark leafy greens, because you know what you want after a hangover is a salad.
You can smoothie that shit.
Right. So green juice would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Dark leafy greens are among some of the most nutritious foods available. They contain a variety of nutrients, amino acids, and minerals, as we all know. These help the body recover from the effects of alcohol. They also tend to be a good source of fiber, again, helping with the digestive portion of the hangover part, because some of y'all like to vom all over the place.
Gross.
I've been there. We've all been there. We all know how that is.
I've been cleaning the walls, if that counts.
Oh yeah, Kirsten is the mom of the group. Let's just get this out of the way. Kirsten
feel like
is
we
an
covered
alcohol
this.
purist. She is the mom of the group when she knows exactly when to stop drinking so she can take care of everybody else.
That's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but don't, if you give me red wine, I will have such a terrible migraine instantly that I will not be able to take care of you. So just kind of keep that in mind.
Noted.
I have my
Yeah.
limits.
So it's always good to have a mom friend, everybody.
I'll hold your hair.
She will. She will.
And then I'll sympathy bomb because that's where I'm at in life.
She actually, I don't think you've ever had to hold my hair
I have
because
not.
I feel accomplished
I
about
mean,
that.
do you want me to talk about your bed experience in college?
No.
I wasn't there for that, but I
No.
did get the tea.
We're not talking about that.
Never mind.
That is not a good time for anyone involved.
We should have covered that in our alcohol episode.
No. No.
Savannah and Sienna, if you do listen to this, I'm so
No.
sorry. Anywho,
Oh my God, that was awful.
it was
I think about that a lot. Anyway,
too much, in fact. Oh
the
God.
guilt gets to me to this day. Okay. Other things you can eat. Healthful carbs. Carbohydrate snacks are typically easy for people to digest and provide the body with a quick source of energy. This is particularly helpful during a hangover when a person may feel queasy and tired. Toast, bagels, plain crackers are always good and gentle on the stomach. People should be careful with overly salty or oily carbohydrate foods, such as chips. My cat wants to be a part of the pod as per usual.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fine. You have him on your desk. A cougar is literally sitting on my legs trying to get my attention right now.
Oh my God. We can't
So
do
needy.
anything. I haven't seen Cougar in so long. I'm so glad that she's here.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. So no salty toast bagels, plain crackers. Water is always a good idea because alcohol acts as a diuretic, which means it causes a person to urinate more, and that can lead to dehydration.
Right. Okay.
So, and dehydration can exacerbate your hangover symptoms, such as a headache or excessive thirst. Staying hydrated is one of the best ways to prevent and alleviate a hangover. Now, if you take 11 shots with some water in between, you're still taking 11 shots. So just keep that in mind. Okay.
It still equals 11.
Not to be like too mommy, but like
it's true. It's a fact. So
sparkling water, a 2016 study investigated whether drinking a certain non-alcoholic drinks alongside alcohol would boost alcohol metabolism. And they did this with mice. Soda water was one of the drinks that sped up alcohol metabolism and helped to prevent alcohol-induced liver damage.
Good to know.
So if you're really out here trying to protect your liver, maybe you should have a LaCroix with your alcohol.
I do like the TV static water. 'Tis my favorite.
I like the spicy water as well. Soda, let's see. So natural sparkling water also contains sodium and other minerals. These help to replenish electrolyte levels following dehydration.
Nice.
Green tea is another good drink to have with your alcohol. If a person has an upset stomach the day after drinking, they may want to avoid their morning cup of coffee, which I know is like
taboo,
sacrilegious to a lot of us because all I want, well, that's not true. If I'm like super hungover, you can tell because I want like Sprite or something like that.
Fair.
But highly caffeinated drinks can further aggravate an upset stomach. Green tea may be a much better alternative.
What about green tea shots?
That's a great question. Green tea was one of the non-alcoholic drinks that sped up alcohol metabolism in the 2016 study that also did soda water. And it helped prevent liver damage as well. So maybe if you're doing a green tea shot, it like cancels each other out.
you know what? Don't take that. Remember our disclaimer, everyone. But that could be an interesting
It
study.
seems logical, but
It
I
does.
have my doubts.
11 shots is still 11 shots, people.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so fruit or plant juices, fresh fruit and vegetable juices not only contain water, but they also contain high levels of nutrients. We kind of touched on this earlier. Um, let's see. Researchers suggested that lemon, starfruit, and pears reduced concentrations of alcohol in the blood.
Interesting.
A 2018 study found that a specific mix of fruit or vegetable juice reduced some hangover symptoms in healthy adults. The juice consisted of pear, green grapes, ashitaba, which I'm not sure. Apparently, it's a carrot in the carrot family.
Nice.
Okay. Definitely gonna have to go to Whole Foods for that. Anyway,
yeah.
The one group of participants that drank the juice mix 30 minutes before consuming alcohol were less likely to experience a headache. And they also showed significantly lower levels of blood alcohol in comparison to the control group.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
But before, not after.
Right. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So you have to have it before.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And some could say that like the hydration factor as well could from the juice.
Sure. But I mean, if the control group had water, that's technically, I mean, it doesn't have as many electrolytes if it's just plain water. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
So hydrated.
Yeah, right.
In quotations.
So, electrolyte drinks, we'll talk about them. Pedialyte is very special one. I have never really liked Pedialyte.
I don't think I've had it.
It's not, I don't know. People also turn to Gatorade and Powerade. And all of these drinks contain electrolytes and sugar and like those things you need after a hangover. Sports drinks are less good than Pedialyte or like electrolyte drinks. And some of those are very popular now. Like every podcast I listen to, I think does like the Element electrolyte drink.
That and Prime.
Yeah, Liquid IV is also really good. Yes. I like, and they have a sugar-free version for those of you who are looking for that. So definitely, according to this article, you should do those instead of the Gatorades and Powerades, but like obviously do what you can get your hands on.
Right.
Just because Gatorade and Powerade have like more sugar and it can cause more problems with your digestive system.
And I think if you have to use the Gatorade or Powerade and they have the Gatorade or Powerade Zero, I think it's like zero sugar or something, you could do that instead.
Another thing that's in the similar vein is coconut water, if you're into that. Coconut water and sports drinks are equally effective in treating dehydration, according to a 2012 study.
Coconut water.
Some people, I've had coconut water. It's like very a specific taste.
Yeah.
I don't know how I like really feel. It's not something I think I could drink on a daily basis.
I feel like it would taste better straight from the source.
Yes, I think you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I feel like
you're right.
Packaged and processed is like, it's got a weird aftertaste for me.
I agree. Okay, so things to avoid. Get ready to have your whole dreams like shattered. Okay.
Ready.
What to avoid. There are a couple of myths surrounding alcohol and hangovers. Not only are the following claims unlikely to cure a hangover, but they may make it worse.
Perfect.
So avoid drinking more alcohol in the morning. I feel like this is very self-explanatory. However, as we'll see in the next half, that there are like a ton of people who think that drinking like a Bloody Mary after after a night of drinking cures your hangover. I don't know why.
Maybe because you get drunk again, so you just stop feeling.
We're unsure. We are unsure. I don't think your liver would appreciate it.
No.
So this theory it's based in fact that the hangover system symptoms tend to appear as blood alcohol levels become very low.
Mm,
So if you increase your blood alcohol level, you just
right.
get drunk again and then you can
Right.
like be better.
Right.
I don't know. Um, it's just delaying the hangover, basically.
Agreed.
Eating greasy foods. This is one of my
Sash.
favorite hobbies. Greasy foods may help to slow the absorption of alcohol in the blood. However, this method is only helpful if a person eats the greasy foods before drinking alcohol.
Hmm.
Eating greasy foods the morning after might upset the sensitive digestive system, making the hangover even worse.
You know, I could see that being helpful before maybe. It's kind of like carbs. It just kind of soaks
Right.
things
Carb
up.
loading your alcohol
Yeah.
consumption. Yeah.
However, if you get so intoxicated that you do vom, there goes your
Mm.
baseline. I'm just saying.
Well, and the other thing is like if you're going out for a night of drinking, like you have to plan your meals ahead of time to like
Yeah.
be able to balance out the amount of alcohol.
And who be doing that?
And I mean, honestly, though, but if you like think about it, if you go out to dinner and you have like a cheeseburger or something, you're
Fair.
less likely to get dangerously intoxicated as opposed to if you just have like a salad. So, like, think
So,
about
yeah.
that.
Go
Have
to
your cheeseburger before.
go to McDonald's first and then
Yeah.
go bust a move at the club.
Also, pizza, great.
Love
Get your
pizza.
pizza. Eat a whole
Yes.
pizza before you go out drinking. Do
So,
you?
and that is all extra large. We want the 14-inch.
That's right.
Wow. Well, that's great.
So anyway, that's all I have for like tips and tricks. I hope I
Perfect.
didn't like I know everyone has their own routine when they're hungover. So do with that what you will. Maybe add some things, subtract some other things. I think I'm still probably going to have greasy food afterwards because it just
Yeah.
makes me feel better. I don't know. It's like comfort food.
I don't think I've ever had a bad experience with greasy food after, but I've also
No.
never really been horribly drunk.
Well,
You know
and I
what I
guess it
mean?
depends on like what you're trying to do. Like
Fair.
usually if I'm drinking the night before, I make sure the next day I have nothing going on because
Right.
I know that I'm probably not going to feel super great. I'm
Right.
also nearing 30, so my hangover lasts for a couple of days, so you have to really plan, you
Uh,
know.
drink on a Friday, still drunk on a Monday.
Right. So you really have to like get that together. But I think if you're trying to like if you have things to do and like people to
Yeah,
see and places to go, like obviously some tricks are probably better than others.
fair enough.
So anyway, let's take a break and we'll travel the world in the next half and see what other people eat.
It's
So
like the drinks around Disneyland. We'll just go to every world.
similar, but that's what Disney should do. They should have Epcot and
Yeah.
then you should drink around the world and then get hangover food around the world. That would be so good.
We got to pitch this new
We
business
got to
idea.
pitch this. Oh my God. All right. See you guys in the next half.
As you may know, we have all suffered from mainstream podcasts and live streams with good, reliable Wi Fi. This has caused countless views and followers for these influencers and created large communities who engage regularly on their platforms.
If you're tired of having quality sound, video, and overall material for consumption, we've got you covered here at Mediocre Content Podcast.
Introducing Blair's Crappy Wi Fi.
Have your podcast editor in literal tears each time you try to record. With Blair's Crappy Wi-Fi, that's me, you will have to edit every few moments of absolute silence as Blair is constantly dropping from the call.
You can even use Blair's Crappy Wi-Fi on live streams and have your sound echo into the abyss and your video drop, preventing viewers from seeing or hearing you. Because why would they want to?
To purchase Blair's Crappy Wi-Fi, you can send your application to mediocrecontentpodcast@gmail.com. Simply stating a time Blair's Crappy Wi-Fi has made your experience listening to podcasts and streams absolutely awesome.
We look forward to hearing from you, and good luck making it through the rest of this pod with, you guessed it,
Blair's Crappy Wi-Fi. Obviously, this is a fake ad, even though my Wi-Fi is, in fact, crappy. Feel free to email us all the same, but there's no way I'd be willing to give this crappy Wi-Fi to anyone, not even my worst enemy. Cheers! Welcome back! We're going to start with Colombia. We're just going to jump right in.
That sounds good to
So, Colombia, they like to poach their eggs in milk. And then they top their eggs with chopped coriander and cubes of stale bread called calado, forming a stewy, soupy breakfast known as chenugua. Or
Interesting.
chengua. Chengua?
Changua?
Chengua. Chengua.
Maybe.
Perfect.
I don't think I've
Yes.
ever thought about poaching eggs in milk.
I have not either.
I don't really eat poached eggs though.
I don't really eat milk. So
Two problems.
yeah.
Coriander is
So
an
anyway,
interesting
that's what they
choice.
do down there.
I wonder
So
what the coriander does. Why coriander?
spicy.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's not spicy, but it like, it's
It's a spice. Yeah.
flavor. Yeah. Y'all didn't see
Add a
that, but I
little bit
did the
of
spice bay
spice.
thing.
It's just a reflex now.
Yeah. In Canada, they do two different things. They do in Calgary, created in 1969. This version of the Bloody Mary features vodka, horseradish,
Ugh.
hot sauce,
Ugh.
Worcestershire sauce,
Wash your sister sauce.
Worcestershire sauce, and a large splash of briny clamato juice. Clamato juice. I was like, chlamydia? Clamato? What
Just
are
a
we doing?
disease juice.
Clamato juice in lieu of a more traditional tomato juice.
What the heck is a clamato?
They call it a Bloody Caesar.
That's sad. Poor Caesar.
I know. So that's what they do there. In Montreal, Canada, they do the very popular and very well, very popular hangover food. That is chips, gravy, and curds of cheese.
Delicious.
Called poutine.
Which I love poutine.
I have never had poutine before.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I know you're vegetarian. However,
we're going to Canada in December.
Okay, so lamb poutine,
Mhm.
holy crap, it is so good. And there's a place near us that serves poutine, and anytime that we go, we get it. It is, and chips, I think in this case, are like fries chips because they make it with fries.
Right. Yeah.
But it's so good. Highly recommend if you've never had it.
Okay, well, we'll have to try it. We'll have to do it when we go to Canada in December.
Yeah, please do.
Yes, so poutine's very important. You can add bacon, pulled pork, duck, carnitas, whatever you want, lamb, like Kirsten just said. And so it's kind of a make your own adventure situation.
It's like fry nachos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Hawaii, they do a dish called loco moco, which is a brunch staple invented at the Lincoln Grill in Hilo on the Big Island. A mound of hot steaming white rice is topped with hamburger patty, fried egg, and a rich meat gravy to create one of the state's most popular lunches, hangover or not.
That sounds delicious, actually.
It does. It sounds good.
I don't know if I really like hamburger patty, but everything else sounds perfect.
Yeah. I feel like if you like mix it all together and make like a nice little bowl, I think it would be good.
Yeah.
Italy does midnight spaghetti, which sounds amazing.
It does. That sounds good regardless of a hangover.
Midnight spaghetti is believed to help absorb excess alcohol in the body.
Of course.
And there are many easy to prepare when tipsy variants, such as spaghetti with garlic, olive oil, and chile.
Delicious. I want midnight spaghetti now.
I mean, it's like midnight pizza. I feel like it's the same.
It's carby. It's rich. It's delicious.
Yeah. I 1,000% would love to make this a tradition in my life.
Support the midnight spaghetti.
That's right. So in Puerto Rico, they do a sancocho. It's a popular hangover stew found throughout Central and South America, as well as in Puerto Rico. It usually features beef along with a bounty of starchy vegetables such as yucca potatoes, pumpkin, chayote corn, and plantains.
Ooh, I love plantains.
Really?
Oh yeah, if you get dried plantains, They are so
Chris's
good.
mom makes plantains every time we go there, and I try them every time, and it's not for me.
Have you tried
I
them in
don't know.
chip form though?
Yes, I have.
Oh, I love those. Those are my favorite. I don't like them sweet, but I do like them salted.
Yeah, you like a lot of salty food though.
It's because I'm a salty, well, you know.
Salty. Yeah, I do. In the loving way.
Yes.
So Mexico does a dish called and I'm sorry if I butcher this, vuelve a la vida. Vuelve a la vida.
Cute.
Hailing from the port city of Veracruz, it is a spicy seafood cocktail. No, and the dish, which apparently translates to come back to life, features assorted seafood such as shrimp, oysters, and octopus in a chilled, spicy lime lashed tomato sauce.
Kind of sounds like ceviche.
Yeah, or like a souped up Bloody Mary
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they make around here because it's like the Northeast and we're really close to like lobster.
Mm.
We well, the places around us will serve shrimp Bloody Marys where it'll be topped with like shrimp cocktail and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and it's like a whole meal.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know how I feel about seafood for a hangover though. I don't really
I
like
don't
it in
know either.
general,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
I think it's because seafood has a very distinct smell.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't, smells are what gets me sometimes.
Yes, exactly. But you know what? If you're surrounded by water and that's what you're eating most often, it makes perfect sense that that would be your go-to.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Uganda, they do a dish called katogo, which is um it it features the country's staple crop matuke, a green banana, which is similar to a plantain. So Kirsten, you might
Ooh,
like this.
I might.
It is cooked and either left whole or mashed, and then topped with a spiced stew of either goat or cow, usually intestines and stomach.
Suddenly, I'll just take the matuka.
Seems fair.
Uh,
Yeah. But I mean, like the meat situation probably helps with the hangover.
oh
I
my
don't know.
gosh. Yeah, well, if you're first of all, it's
Protein.
anything, yeah, it's protein, but also I don't know where I heard this, but if you also can stomach like animal livers, that's amazingly good for like vitamin and mineral intake.
Oh, interesting.
So it makes sense that they're using intestines and the stomachs because they're usually rich in vitamin and minerals as well. So you're getting the protein, but also it's almost like you just drank a super fused, like, I don't know, Powerade or something.
Yeah.
All the electrolyte stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
if you can stomach the liver, you might have a good cure on your hands.
Maybe if I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if it was a mystery meat,
Of course, I don't do well with mystery meat either. Like
this
I
would be a problem.
it's a problem. All right. So in Paris, although experts advise to avoid alcohol the next day, many people swear by, quote, the hair of the dog, or as we say, the Bloody Mary.
Fair.
You can find it all over the world. However, in Paris, it was invented in
Oh,
1921 at Harry's New York bar
I
in
didn't know
Paris.
that.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Many
make it
bars
more
around the
appetizing.
world have put their own spin on the Bloody Mary. Horseradish is now more common, but
Gross.
Harry's makes it with vodka, tomato juice, Tabasco, salt, pepper, lemon, and Worcestershire sauce.
If it sounds like a dip, I can't drink it.
Fair.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah. My when we went over to my grandpa's house growing up,
Mm.
they would always make a pitcher of Bloody Marys. And like
Oof.
my mom and dad would like drink it with like the celery in it.
Okay,
I
look.
don't I don't know. I don't know.
You know, so you know, at the beginning we talked about how eggs were like a good source, but there's also like people that are like, it's an inflammatory food, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what is actually kind of an inflammatory food? Tomato juice, because it's highly acidic
You're right.
and you're gonna put an entire glass of tomato juice and your upset tum tum? I don't think
And
so.
vodka.
And vodka. Tabasco, spicy, not good. I can't even get involved in the wash your sister sauce. It's just not a good combination.
You're so right. You're so right.
I'm just saying, if something's inflammatory, it's definitely that tomato juice.
Well, don't tell the people in Paris, okay? They're
I
already
will.
mad at us for no reason.
As they should be.
Um, so in London, England, they do the cheese on toast situation, which I think is pretty
Fair.
good.
It's good.
It's simple, to the point,
Carby.
easy to make.
Mm-hmm.
So you slide the bread under the broiler or grill, as they say in the UK, lightly toast on both sides, and then slather on butter, sometimes spicy mustard if you're feeling it,
Okay.
and a pile of grated cheddar on top.
Grated cheddar.
I think that it's good for the melting. It's good for the melting. Slide back under the broiler and melt the cheese.
I don't know how I feel about the spicy mustard since I'm not making a sandwich, but yeah.
For flavor, right. I guess.
Yeah, okay. Maybe.
Yeah. It's like a grilled cheese, but like there's no other bread slice on top.
I love white cheddar cheese. Oh,
yes.
So soft.
White cheddar is good. I'm a goat cheese girly.
Oh,
I like goat cheese.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I put it on my toast though. Would you?
Oh yeah, it's really good. I make this thing, and this is recipes from Blair in case you care. First you got the oatmeal recipe, and now you have this. So I do sourdough bread, toasted. I put goat cheese on top. I like spread it around, and then I do little pieces of apple. Okay. And it is so good.
You know, now that you say that you're doing it on sourdough, that makes more sense to me because I feel like sourdough has the right like flavor for something like goat cheese. Also, for those of you that are listening, if you want a bread that is going to be easily digestible during this hangover time, use sourdough because on a normal day, it's very easy to digest for your system. So this would be even better if you had it on your hangover day.
True. Okay, so moving on to Germany. So currywurst is what they call it. It consists of fried pork sausage sliced into bite-sized chunks and then doused with a spiced curried ketchup before being dusted with a curry powder. The rich sauce, meaty sausage, and subtle heat from the spicy wakes up the dulled senses and provides a revitalizing boost, even better when paired with fries.
I feel like that revitalization is you running for the toilet because that's a spicy. It's spicy. It's a greasy meat. All the things they said not to do.
This is very German though. Like
yes,
I mean the idea of having like a sausage for like a hangover food is because when I was over there, really it's just like pretzels, spicy sausage, onion, sauerkraut, beer. Like there is no other food groups. That's it. Yeah. And that's from a tourist perspective. So sorry if I offend anyone. Anyway,
from someone who is not native.
All right. So Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm going to try to pronounce this because there's so many different consonants all together. So I'm going to go with
I'm so ready. Hold on. Let me okay, you're ready. Go ahead.
Flackensestig sandwich.
I think you nailed it.
Thank you so much.
I was really prepared for the worst, but you totally nailed it.
This translates to pork roast sandwich. Danish cuisine, often associated with beautifully presented minimalist plates of foraged ingredients, is actually more diverse. The country's signature sandwich is all about messy, delicious indulgence. thick slices of roasted and grilled pork with a soft bun and pickled cucumbers, red
Mm.
cabbage, and spicy mayo, which sounds
Oh,
amazing.
it does sound
Honestly,
amazing.
I would eat that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, so Manila, Philippines. After heavy drinking, they go for a dish called tapsilog. It's basically like cured, semi-dried or marinated beef with garlic, rice, and a fried
Mm.
egg.
Also sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds similar to the loco moco almost from
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and yeah, that's like basically it.
That sounds good.
Super convenient, apparently.
Mm.
And yeah, Sydney, Australia, still moving west. Um, they are the cafe culture is famous for the healthy brunches, smashed avocados on toast. How basic of them.
Mm-hmm.
We probably stole that, you know.
I mean,
Um,
probably, but avocados are apparently good for
they
hangovers,
are,
so it
yeah. So
makes
this is the
sense.
first one that like kind of follows the rules. I feel
This
like
makes the most sense.
it's a delicious, healthy dish following 8 hours of sober sleep, but it also a go-to option when you're hungover. Avocado, high potassium. We talked about that.
Mhm.
You can add an egg, which
Right?
is great. That's a great option. And a little bit of hot sauce if you're really feeling it,
Be
just
careful.
because.
Yeah,
Yeah, be
just a
careful.
little bit.
Okay. Tokyo, Japan. Got a few more left and then we're done, guys. Don't worry. I'm just,
Look, if they're traveling the world, they're 1,000% getting drunk in every single one of them. So this is perfect.
you're so right. You're so right. Take this, take
Take
this
this pod with you,
information, take this information with you when you go to Epcot. Okay.
and then you'll know what
Um,
to order. It'd be great.
exactly. So, Wagyu Mafia is a fast casual chain famous for its luxurious Kobe beef sandwiches,
Ooh.
a go to hangover remedy in Tokyo, Japan. Um, you can eat before bed after a night out, or you can eat it the next morning, either one. Um, basically, um, you can it's usually prepared super quick, meaning you can have a bowl within 30 seconds of ordering.
Wow.
Yes.
That's fast.
Um, and some favorites of the locals comes with tempura, a raw egg, extra shredded negi, which is a Chinese leek,
Hmm.
and Tokyo style thick soy sauce that is warm and nourishing. Overall,
Delicious.
it's very comforting and filling a quick meal.
I don't know how I feel about the raw egg, but maybe if it's hot, the soup will cook it. I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah.
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 It's probably fine.
In Bangkok, Thailand, um on Instagram, Perm Paitawat, I'm sorry if I butchered her name, also known as the Skinny Bib, is a food writer and on Thai and Asian cultures. This is not sponsored or anything. This was just in the article that I found. The first and foremost hangover battling food choice from people in Bangkok is known as Khao Tom Kui, a Thai Chinese rendition of piping hot starchy rice porridge with sides that range from braised meat to spicy salad.
Delicious.
Mhm.
I'm fine with that.
Jumping back over to Europe in Edinburgh, Scotland, the Lorne sausage, also known as a square sausage,
That's
is regarded as the national institution and hangover miracle by most Scots.
nice.
Um, these square shaped thick slabs of rich, fatty, and flavorful beef sausage fit on a roll like a glove. The roll of choice is important to discerning hungover. I don't know. Never mind. That these articles
Gourmands.
get way too annoying. Like they're just like, why did we need that sentence? We didn't need that sentence. It's
It's for
fine.
filler. It's like a
It's for
filler
filler.
episode.
Exactly. We don't need that. Okay, so it's normally on a light airy roll and called a morning roll, which I think they have made on Great British Baking Show. Just
Oh,
putting that
really?
out there. Yeah.
Nice.
Um, not the sausage part, but the roll
Right,
part.
the roll itself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
So
so
meat
that's what they do
sandwich.
in Scotland. Yeah, they
Nice.
do the sandwich. In Dublin, Ireland, um, we know who lives there.
Now.
Now,
You know how I do.
um, they are known for their drinking, and especially in Dublin, they have a big pub culture. So
You
obviously, the
think?
hangover food is very well uh versed. So um let me think. So the country's favorite hangover food is the breakfast blah, spelled BLAA.
That's interesting.
A bread conceived in the windy city of Waterford, but embraced in the capital in recent years. The greasy meat and carb option involves a generously buttered, soft, floury bread roll, or blah,
Blah.
filled with bacon, sausage, and black pudding.
But isn't ooh, black pudding
Brown
is
brown
what?
sauce, traditional British condiment similar to ketchup, is the condiment of choice. And if you wash it down with a rock shandy, which is lemonade, sparkling water with bitters, or a pint of stout if you're really feeling it.
That's what I thought.
And then another, apparently, if that doesn't work, they recommend freshly shucked oysters.
I would just like to intersect that if you don't know what black pudding is, it is in fact blood sausage. I that's what I thought it was, but I looked it up just
Yeah,
to
I
be
didn't know.
sure. It's not great in my opinion, but they love it over there, I guess. I don't know. To each their own.
Dublin, they have the meats.
They have the meats. Is it Arby's? Not sponsored.
I'm sure you could get it without, though.
Yeah, well, maybe. I feel like substitutions and things are like an American thing.
Yeah, possible.
Hmm.
Um, so in America, we're known for the BEC, or the bacon, egg, and cheese.
Mm.
Yep. No explanation needed, really. Y'all know
I
about
mean,
that.
it's like a
I feel like it's an
yeah,
initiation process into your drinking years
yeah, yeah.
when you go to McDonald's and get yourself a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Or alternatively, if you go to Ye Old Waffle House, that is another staple as well, depending on what part of
Yeah.
the country you're in.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am from the same part of the country that you are from, and Waffle House is not my jam.
Well, you know whose jam it is.
I do.
It's not
I
mine
do.
either.
I'm a McDonald's girly. I don't know. I can't, like, I don't eat there a lot anymore, but like
Yeah,
growing up,
yeah, that was the thing.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. New Zealand, final one. Mince and cheese pie.
Nice,
So mince basically just meaning ground meat, and cheese pie.
easy.
Um, when Kiwis, which are the people in New Zealand, in case you didn't know,
Not the fruit.
when Kiwis want to stop feeling like someone is hammering their head in, they go for a mince and cheese pie.
Nice,
And a tall glass of chocolate milk sometimes.
interesting.
Yeah.
With meat, mince, and cheese pie.
Yep. And they put a little bit of salt in the chocolate milk, not so much that you can taste it, but just a little bit to add a little bit of extra electrolytes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really like chocolate milk. I don't. I can't drink milk, but all the
Yeah.
same. Yeah. I'd eat the pie though.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so. I think it'd be good.
Sounds like a shepherd's pie or like something
Yeah.
similar.
Similar. It's like the pie crust goes all the way around. You know, it's
Delicious.
not, yeah. So anyway, that is my clunky and somewhat detached from my brain
Nice.
recount of all of the worldly hangover foods. I swear I'm not hungover, I'm just tired. That's all.
I was just about to say that if it didn't even sound like this was a hangover pod, then it wouldn't be authentic. You
It's
know.
true. It's
Do
true.
you have a favorite hangover food that you go to other than McDonald's?
Um, I mean, I really do. I'm an avocado toast with
Okay.
like with egg on top. I also like a really good breakfast burrito.
Really?
Yeah, my there's a place where we live
Mm-hmm.
that has a breakfast burrito, but it also has like pieces of potato in it, as
Ooh.
well as egg and like vegetables
Mm-hmm.
and the whole thing, and it's really good. And my
Nice.
husband also makes a really good breakfast burrito,
Nice.
which he does with sausage, egg, tater tots, and then if you put like a little bit of sour cream on it,
Yeah. Nice.
so good.
Good, good, good. I'm already not really a breakfast person, so if I do end up having somewhat of a hangover, I usually just don't eat.
That seems unhealthy.
Yeah, it probably is, but I just can't stomach anything in the morning very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if I'm feeling gross on top of that, not good. I do think the last time that I did have unfortunately red wine and I did end up very not good in the morning. I had soup. Had
Soup is
soup.
good.
Yeah, it was
Soup is
like
hydrating.
yeah, it was like the cafe near us has this really amazing potato leek and broccoli soup. Oh,
Nice.
it is so good and it really did make me feel a lot better, honestly.
Nice.
Hmm.
Very good.
But we would love to know what you guys do for your hangover. And if you don't drink, that's also fine. What's your go to breakfast food? We'll just change it up. What do you
Yeah.
enjoy? You can send all of those answers to our Gmail at mediocrecontentpodcast at, you guessed it, gmail.com. You can also send in episode ideas or things that you might be interested in learning about to that same contact. You can also find us on our socials, Instagram or TikTok at the same Mediocre Content Podcast handle. And you can catch us live on Twitch every other Thursday at Mediocre Content Podcast, whether it's 3 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. EST, or 11 p.m. BST, wherever you are. We'd love to have you there and interact with us live in our chat room. And do not forget to rate us 5 stars, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you can rate us. We would greatly appreciate it, and we do greatly appreciate those that have already done so. And I guess we'll see them next week.
We shall. You guys have a good week, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers.